So welcome back to another video. Today we're going through a leg session. It'll mostly be just training clips, a little bit talking shit, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I think Jude's coming here today, but I don't think he's training legs, so it'll probably just be a solo job. I'm just doing some warm-ups, a little bit of active stretching, I guess, something that I've implemented recently, just to ensure that I am appropriately warm and ready to go for the session, because I just do pull up with a few tight hips and things like that. So I might film some of this just so you get an idea of what I do at the start of the session. Yeah.
So this is going to be the back off set. Unfortunately with this stack, it only goes up to 82 kilos. I can gym pin it, but sometimes I find if I do gym pin it, it can get a little bit out of hand. So my first set is meant to be 7 to 8, so I full stack it. I think I got 11 today, which wasn't too bad. For the back off set, it's 10 to 12, so I want to try and get 10. If I can get 11 or 12, that'd be great. And my adductors are killing me from training them on Friday. So I actually did that in check-in today. I mentioned that to Matt. I said my adductors are just not recovering, and they're so sore. And I'm just assuming it's just from like leg pressing, squatting, all that good stuff anyway. So we'll see how this set goes and get after it. Hopefully the control's good. These pants are a little bit tight, so like me coming out, I'm getting worried they're gonna fucking burst at the seams, but we'll just wait and see. One, two, three. So I don't count the first one ever on this because I do it with my hands just to get into it, but that was fucking rough. I think it was 11. I'm going to count it as 10. I feel like those last 2 reps I couldn't hold in the stretch or the contraction for as well as I'd like, but I have an adductor pump and a half. Fuck me. So now we are doing a seated leg curl, just wandering over. I figured I've got this on the tripod, so I may as well talk while I'm walking over, but we'll talk about a little bit later how I feel like my legs have just grown so much more in the past like 6 months than they ever have, and there's probably only one reason for that, which I'll probably clickbait the title, but we'll see why. Alright, so probably the GOAT of seated leg curls, in my opinion. I don't really care what everybody says. Everybody has their own favourites, but I feel like this is a staple, the old Hammer Strength / Life Fitness leg curl. I do like to set it up one down from the top, just because I find when I get to the top I get really clicky knees, and I don't really like coming too far out of that active range of motion. So when I set it up one down, I actually find that I don't get as clicky. Usually, let's see where the pad's sitting. I like it to sit just above the kneecap, so probably about there when I'm locked in. And I lock in as tight as I can go, feet relatively shoulder width apart, and then just I brace in and straight down and hold. Now one thing that people don't really do, so like that's where my knee clicks when I get to about there, so I'll try to not come too far out of that active range. Yep. And then a lot of people don't really hold in the bottom position of this movement, which obviously is super important. And what I really try to do is when I get to the bottom of it, I try to almost bottom it out. Like I won't do it that aggressively, that's just because of how light I've got it. But I try to like almost get the machine to hit the bottom so I'm aware that I'm at the bottom of the range, just to make sure I get the most out of the movement. So do a couple warm-ups, and then we will move into a top sets. 3 sets on this, 2 sets of 7 to 8, 1 set of 10 to 12, done, and then into pendulums, which hopefully I don't die on. So we'll just wait and see. That was 2.5 kilos up on last week. Oh, fuck, got to set up. And the same reps, I don't know, fuck me. Okay, so we're up 5 kilos on last week. So last week we did 65 for 8. I'm going for 70 here. I'm hoping for 6 to 7. We'll see how we go. Gonna get Drew to spot me. So at the start of the video, I said, like, what's the best way to grow your legs? And it's to find that level of intensity that you desire. Training fucking hard. And that's probably one of the things that I've learned over the last, probably not even 6 months. I'd probably say the last 4 months. It was probably from like that last video that you would have seen of us training legs with Annie, and when Mike spotted me and almost died. And that's probably where I have made the most progress on my legs since, which is pretty crazy to think that I learned that there's a gear ahead of where I was training, and ever since then I reckon that's when my legs have like genuinely made the most amount of progress. So it's just finding that next fucking gear. Like once you find that next gear, training becomes fucking wild and you'll progress so much more. So genuinely, this is how I've probably grown my legs over the last couple of months. As you can hear Mike in the background groaning, like it's at another level that we're looking for.
Let's go.
Yep.
Three, 1. Good, come on. 5. Straight down. Drive. Easy. Up. All you. Another one. Straight down. Let's go. Up. All you. Up. Come on. Drive. Let's go. Straight down. Up. Push. Good.
Alright, so you'll probably find on this, when I do it, how much my ass comes out of the seat and how my feet lift off the plate a little bit. Now, a lot of people, or some people would probably see this and think, he's doing it fucking wrong, right? But there's actually nothing wrong with it, to be honest with you. You'll see that my bum lifts a little bit out, but I'm still holding onto those handles for dear fucking life and really trying to pull myself down into the seat. Now, if my bum does lift out of the seat that little bit, as long as there's no lower back impingement, which I've done this so many times that I know there isn't, because I feel nothing through my lower back when my ass comes off the seat a little bit more. And then as far as the feet lifting off, there's nothing wrong with it. The idea behind this leg press, to get as much quad as we can, is to push through big toe and midfoot. So pushing through big toe, midfoot is going to be the main premise of just like really getting leg drive, especially quad drive. So I find this removes a lot of glute when I do it this way as well, because I find that on a lot of leg pressing, squatting, I used to be very glute dominant. My biggest fear, my number one fear, is I used to be so glute dominant on squatting and leg pressing, and now I've taught myself to be so quad dominant that it's going to take away a little bit from my glutes. So what I try to do is, as I begin to fatigue, I don't compromise knee flexion, but I think about driving through my glutes that little bit more as fatigue builds up. So we'll go into this set. Last week I did 260 for, I think it was 9. So this week we're doing 280. The back off will be the same back off weight as last week. Just because I progressed on load on this set, I'm going to try and hold the load for the next set and just keep for an extra rep. I think it was 11 reps last week on this back off, so I'll go for 12 or more obviously, but yeah, with this one 7 to 8. Like I said, last week I did 260 for 9, so we're going to push for 280 for at least 7. So pretty much what we've got is we've got a leg extension, supersetted with walking lunges. I've got the motion tracker on, so I'm really hoping it follows me down the other end of the turf. But we're going for 10 to 12 on this bad boy, and then I think it's 10 to 12 on that as well. And I'm not allowed to technically progress until I progress across all sets of that exercise. So last week I got 59 for 13, I think it was at 11. So I'm going to count that as progression. I'm only going up to 61 today, so I think it's 58.5. So I'm going to 61, and I've got the Hustler pad on. So what this does is it just creates me and allows me to get a little bit further range of motion, which is really fucking good and helps me hit the VMO really, really nicely. I'm hoping that throwing that in front of my face didn't fuck up the... No, it didn't. It really hits my VMO nicely. And that's what I need to hit, because that's the only part of my quad that I don't really necessarily get a good contraction on. So it's this supersetted with walking lunges, and let's get into it. I didn't warm up. I don't need to warm up at this point. I'm pretty cooked by this point, so let's go. Yep. Ooh. Yep. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna fucking regret that. I'm gonna fucking regret that. That fucking set. Fuck. Oh, legit kept following me. That's good. I don't even know if I count that one, so that's technically 17, which is within the rep range, I think. I don't think it is. I think 10's within the rep range, so fuck me. Oh, I hate lunges. I get very glute dominant on lunges. That's why I've got them supersetted with this, so I get a little bit more quad recruitment just from a mind to muscle connection standpoint. So it works. That's all that matters. This is also easily one of the biggest game changers for me since I started training here undefeated. It's this reverse Nordic hyperextension mob. Absolutely fucking love it. Cooks my hamstrings, cooks my glutes. I band it as well, and just feels sensational. I'm off camera now, that's fine. Just getting some plates, but yeah, it feels absolutely sensational. Once you set it up in the right spot, I'll set this up, and then we'll obviously get a video of a set in. The load off the top is pretty heavy. Might adjust it. Bear with me. So it'll be a little bit nicer to get in and catch it when I'm fucking cooked. 3, 2, 1. You're probably wondering why I stopped there, considering my concentric was still very fucking explosive. It's because erectors were taking over. So it's the second last rep. I noticed that erectors were kicking in a little, so I was like, I'll give it one more. Still feel my hamstrings, right? But it's just one of those things where the erector is starting to take over a lot more. So that last one, that's why it's like you'll even see that last rep I just fly up and lock in. Like I've got so much more concentric power through me, but it's just because it's all erector at that point. I'm really just trying to dial in and isolate glute ham, which is what I did for those first 9 reps, and then that last one's like another fucking machine. So happy with that set. It's a progression in weight, technically in reps as well, because last week was 20 by 11 for the first set, so that was 25 by 9. So very happy. Okay, and that is a wrap for leg day. I'm currently just walking to my car down this little alleyway. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Pretty cruisy. Not really, actually. I felt like I was going to die for a lot of it, but that's okay. You know, I'm enjoying using this little gimbal thing to film a lot of my sessions nowadays, so it's been pretty cool. But yeah, if you enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.